자, 마지막으로 중국 인디게임 시장에 대한 강연을 해주실 토니송님 무대 위로 모셔보도록 하겠습니다. For our last lecture planned for today, welcome Tony Song to the stage, who will give a talk about Chinese indie game market. Please give him a big round of applause. 네, 토니 송님께서는 떠오르고 있는 중국 인디게임 시장에 대해서 강연을 해주시겠습니다.
Okay, thank you for the invitation from the conference. Well, 30 minutes is really limited, and the information is huge, so it will be intensive. Okay, that's my introduction. I'm based in Shanghai, and I'm very lucky to be the first generation of video game player in China. And also, I'm really lucky to witness the whole booming and the development of indie game scene in China. And also, I have been a tutor on game design. I've been hosting indie game events all over the world for over 40 events. And also, I'm organizing the paper prototype game design workshop across China. Well, I'm from IndieLight, so here is a brief introduction of IndieLight. We have an industry chain structure. On the very left, you can see there is an organization is for the research and the development talent pool is to training people to know how to develop games. And the second one is the Light of Hope incubator. We have at least 12 teams under incubation in China. Shanghai alone, you will find 10 teams. And the one in the middle is the Outer Heaven Fund. We focus on Chinese indie game development. And the third one is an indie game publisher that we incubated back 6 years ago. It's called Gamera Games. And right now, the Gamera Games is the biggest indie game publisher on Steam in China. Published over 80 titles from all over the world. And the last one is the community and the platform. So here is a more detailed structure of IndieLight as the influence matrix in the video game industry. There are so many numbers, so let's go through very quickly. The first one on the left top corner, we have a WeChat official channel. There is an official account with over 3,200 developers, covering over 95% of all the indie developers in China. And on the left, in the middle, we have an exclusive art center for developers to host events in Shanghai. Almost every month, we throw out an event. And on the left bottom corner, we have exclusive game events. The biggest one that I was in charge of, that is China International Cartoon and Game Expo. We have IndieLight Arena. On the top right corner, we have the Outer Heaven Special Support Fund. And we were going to talk about it later. And the Gamera Games, right now, the biggest indie game publisher in China. And also we have partnership with over 15 countries across 5 continents. So here is a brief introduction of the Light of Hope incubator. It's based in Shanghai. Currently, we provide 10 studios under incubation. 3 studios in A round and 7 studios in angel round investment. And Outer Heaven Fund has currently invested in 23rd seed round teams across 6 cities in China. On the right bottom corner, if you use WeChat, you can scan it to get official account. So here is almost the most famous project under the incubation of IndieLight. The name is Lost Soul Aside. The founder of this team, his name is Yang Bin. He went to Korea in Seoul to study in game art, to be a game artist, and he released the first trailer in 2017 and got over 2 million views on YouTube. So let's take a look. And also, PlayStation chose this project as the China Hero project. Let's take a look at the trailer. So it's more like a combination. From the character design, it looks more like Final Fantasy, but it's an action game. It has a unique action and combating system. Yeah, the volume. Yeah. Right now, they have 30 people working full-time for the game. This game will officially released early next year. And another one that I want to show the trailer, the name is Awakeners Rising. And on the left, in the indie game arena, you can play this game. Let's take a look. The producer of this game is Whisper Fun of a game named Dragon's Dogma. There are about 12 people working full-time for the game for over 4 years. And this game is going to be released next year. Okay, here is another event before China Joy. It's called CCG Expo. And since 2019, IndieLight has presented a indie game arena in CCG Expo. So those are the numbers of that attendees and also the numbers of the games that we exhibited in the last 5 years. But you know, during the pandemic, in the year of 2022, there is a lockdown policy in Shanghai, so there is no event in that year. And also, that's the Light Art Center that we mentioned. Almost every month, we will host a video game event. It is heavily focused on indie game. So right now, over 30 events since 21, sorry. And also, this is every 6 months, I will be hosting a Indie Spark annual party. But right now, it's not an annual party. Every 6 months, we'll have one. We took this photo at the midnight. I think it's 1 a.m. A.m. I think it's in 2020. Yeah. And also, personally, I host indie-like game design workshop, or in Chinese, it's called paper prototype game design workshop. Since 2016, it's over 80 workshops already. So about 2,000 people plus participated in 12 cities. So here is a group photo for the one 2 months ago in Shanghai. Okay, let's take I'm going to give a really brief introduction to the history of the video game market. This is my first console. That was in the year of 1984. It's Atari. And then we have all kinds of illegal clones from Taiwan and Hong Kong. And those are a lot of common memories from the people who were born in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And at that time, we have played a lot of great games. And at least there are over 50 million gamers in China, in the mainland of China. But this is not an official number because there's no official number. And then the very first vanguard and the pioneer of the game studios in 1990s, the name is Wave Ahead. And they even got investment from IDG Group in the year of 1995. But unfortunately, at that time, the whole market is flooded with piracy. So it's really hard for them to survive. So they got broken in 3 years. And also, I think a lot of people can realize this is a game from Korea. It's The Legend of Mir. In the year of 2001, it's a huge hit in China. I think at that time, maybe over 20 million people, they played this game. And it set the beginning of the era of MMORPG, which is multiple gamer online RPG era in the early 90s, in the early 2000s. And at that time, a lot of people, they play games, not because they love game, because of their friends, they all play this game. So it has very strong social feature. And later, the World of Legend came out in 2003. Is from Senda. And very soon, as a gamer at that time, I'm really happy that video game company finally make money, and it can be a really good career to start in the video game industry. A lot of people, they love game because they play console games, but at that time they realize, okay, when they go to a MMORPG company, there is very limited space for them to innovate. Because at that time, people think video game is a really good way to squeeze money from the massive numbers of internet users. So since then, I think in China there are two circles. They treat video game as very different stuff. One circle treats video game as a tool to print money. The other circle, they love game. They want to make game because they think game is an ultimate medium to express themselves, and there is a huge space for innovation. So very soon, the video game industry in China goes from one end to the other. At the very beginning, it's impossible to survive to make a single-player game, a desktop game. And then everyone knows, wow, if you make MMORPG, it's just like a gold mine. It will give you a lot of money. So everyone goes from one end to the other. At that time, even if you do not play game, on the internet in China, you will find a lot of advertisement like this. It's really fancy, right? But a game came to App Store and changed that situation, which is the Monument Valley. It gave people inspiration, and back in 2014, and people started to realize, oh, video game is not all about slashing the monster. It's not all about free-to-play plus pay-to-win. And video game can be so innovative, and also can be so artistic. And in the year of 2014, in the biggest video game event, China Joy, it's the first time ever you can find PlayStation booth and also Xbox booth with local indie game showcasing in the event. And at that time, I organized, it's called the first ever and the largest indie game gathering. It's less than 30 people, including developers, the event organizers, and also video game media who pay close attention to indie game. So on the right, you can see the founder of CIGA, which stands for China Indie Game Alliance. His name is Simon. In the middle, in the black T-shirt, he is the founder of G-Fusion, and also a very famous video game media. The name is G-Core. G-Fusion is the event for the offline video game exhibition. And that's the group photo. Not everyone is included, but the scale is just like less than 30 people. And 2 months later, there is GDC 2014. And I'm really happy to see someone who has been the first indie developer in China back in 1994. They have an advertisement on the left in the biggest video game magazine at that time. The name of the magazine is Game Software. And on the left is this guy wrote the first video game reference book on how to develop a game back in 2005. And yeah, those are the group photo. You see on the people on the right, his nickname is Fantasy Snake, which is a combination of Final Fantasy and Metal Gear Solid. He is the founder of IndieLight. And after 1 year, we have the first indie game carnival. It's called Indie Play. And it's the first time we have invited the famous Castlevania Triangle to come to China. And they have a Kickstarter project. The name is Bloodstain. So they arouse a big, we gave them a warm welcome. It's like 500 people applauding at the same time, almost everyone. And after that, it's the G-Fusion. It's the very first time G-Fusion expand from Beijing to Shanghai. And then we have the first B2C conference, or it's a 2C indie game exhibition. It's called We Play back in 2017. And then that's We Play 2020. In the year of 2020, we have over 15,000 attendees, 200 plus game studios, and over 300 indie games. So let's take a look at the video game market in China back in 2023. Right now, the overall number for all the video gamers in China it's around 600 million plus, 668 million. Amongst them, the client-based games is about 22.84%, which is 153 million. Well, on Steam, around 40% of Steam gamers use simplified Chinese, which leads to, according to the most conservative estimate, the number of Chinese gamers before 2024 on Steam was 45 million plus. But how did this all happen on Steam? You know, at the very beginning, we cannot purchase game on Steam. So there's a milestone there. Let's take a look. It's because of Dota 2. That was in the year of 2013. Around 10 million people, because they are the gamers of Dota 2. They registered on Steam as the first group of Chinese gamers on Steam. And as we can see, there are a lot of positive review on this game. In China, it's supposed to be over 78% are positive. And yeah, it attracted around 10 million people. That's the first group. And the most important thing is they will not stay on just one game. So they start to look for more games on Steam because it's a huge desktop gaming platform. So here we have the first hit from China, indie game on Steam. That was in the year of 2016. The name is Lost Castle. Just 2 people developed this game. And it reached 2 million copies after its release before 2018, in 2 years, in fact. And the second one is Planet Explorer. It's a team based in Chongqing, which is in the west of China. They released this game in the same year, 2016, and reached about 2.5 million in the next 2 years. This is the second hit. And then I think the circulation goes up, and the speed for this circulation goes faster and faster. And in 2018, there is a game came in from nowhere. It's this game. The name is Scrolls of Taiwu. Well, it's successfully ignited the passion for wuxia enthusiasts, and they turned their dream into the game. Because before this game, a lot of people, they love wuxia novel, but they have got no idea that in video game, they can realize their dream. Because before this game, they think video game is all about maybe I can do something to kill time. It's like Bejeweled. It's like something like to play slashing the monsters. But this game aroused more people coming to this platform. And again, they will not stay on just one game. So after about 2 years, another game, which is similar, hit 4 million copies in China. Well, even in what we call niche markets, there is also a big space in the indie game market in China. I think that is a great inspiration. And after that, this is a game that Gamera Game published. Something similar happened again. But this time it's not the wuxia fans, but the science fiction fans. They realized, oh, in the game I can build Dyson Sphere. Wow, that's amazing. And also, this continues again. 3 years ago, another hit came. It's something like a top view action game with a roguelike system. Another 2.5 million. Well, right now, just like, everyone knows there is a huge market on mobile in China, but it's because they have enjoying the demographic dividend for over a decade. And this phenomenon is emerging in the desktop platform in a big way. So, to my research, around 50% of college students and university students are active gamers on Steam. And this percentage was only half 2 years ago. So the circulation goes really fast. And around 40% amongst the 50% of the college students want to create their own game. And the numbers are still rising. I think everyone knows this game, right? In 4 days. In fact, my swag bag is from this game in last year's Gamescom. Well, for me, I think it's the first time ever to see almost everyone is talking about this game. Even for people who were born in the 40s, in the 50s, like my parents, they never talk about video game. But after the release of this game, I can see the forward articles are on this game. They talk about this game. This never happened before. So it reached 10 million copies sold, in 4 days. And also they have crazy numbers as the concurrent, gamers to play this game on Steam at the same time. The peak number is over 2.4 million. And this is the data I collected early this morning, this 1 a.m. So right now, there are almost like 15 million gamers, or the owners of this game on Steam in only 10 days. And amongst them, the gamers from China, the owners from China, the percentage is over 80. So I think it's remarkable. It's really remarkable. It shows the great content can bring traffic. You don't need to pay anything for that. Well, those are the new gamers. Because of this game, they became gamers on PlayStation 5 or desktop. Again, I think this is important. These new gamers will not stay on just one game. They were looking for different games. So I think right now, we need to change the number from 45 million to 50 plus million on Steam. So also, there is an important message I want to deliver. You may have heard of ISBN, which is the license from the government if you want to release a game in China. Well, that's true. That's really true. If you want to publish game on Steam China, which is not Steam, we're talking about Steam China, and on console, including Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, or if you want to release a game on mobile. For a foreign studio, it would normally take you at least 1 year. So we do not recommend you to do that. There is the most important message of this speech, which is if you want to publish or release your game on Steam, we are talking about international server, you don't need any license or ISBN. So that's the reason we travel across the world to deliver, because people got confused with Steam China and Steam. If so, how to enter Chinese indie game market? I think, first of all, to support the Simplified Chinese on Steam page is the very least you should do. Here is a really interesting example. I don't know if you have played this game back in 2017. The Hidden Folks, there is no text at all. Maybe just some kind, very, a few words on the UI, and maybe over 50 words in the credit. So if you want, normally if you do the localization in one day, you can finish it. But after they found someone in China to do the localization, the sales boosted. Because I went to GDC in 2017, the developer, only one person, developed this game. His name is Brian. He asked me, Tony, please tell me what's going on in China. I just, the sales, when after the localization in Chinese, the sales boosted up to 3 times on Steam. And I told him, I think, because it's so important. And then it reached really good, positive reviews in China, a significant increase. The second one, I think, is an indie game from Korea. The developer's name is Sami, and he released this game back in 2016. At that time, I was the vice president of Indie Nova, who is the publisher of this game, and also we did the localization for this game. At that time, it reached really good positive reviews. There are over 90% positive reviews from China. The only, there's a sum down there. I can translate that to you. They say, oh, it's just too short. I want more. Well, there is a different understanding in Chinese gamers on Steam on the sum up and sum down. So normally, people in Europe or people in United States, they think, oh, sum up means I want to recommend this game, right? Sum down means I don't like it. But in China, it goes a little different. Sum down means I have something to say. But I know if I put it into a positive review, there are so many. So if I put a sum down review, you are going to hear me. So that's a way to arouse your interest. So you need to understand the reason behind it. It's very different. So this game, Replica, they are totally over, I think the owners is 260,000 and about 30% from China. I think it's a good example. But just doing localization for Chinese gamer, yes, it's far from sufficient because we all know the way of mobile game publishing, right? Normally, if you want to publish a free-to-play game, you will need to pay a lot of money to get the paid traffic. But when we talk about indie game, the methodology is totally different because we're going to find the right people. We're going to find the people with similar preference system with the developer or the producer of indie game. After all, indie game is the work that people who have great passion for video game and they want to express themselves. So from inside to outside, it's all constructed according to his own preference system. So we need someone who can do that in a professional way. So that's why we incubated Gamera Games. So here is and also another reason why we need an indie game publisher, a local publisher, if you want to publish your game in China, is because we have all kinds of alternatives. We do not have YouTube. We have Bilibili. We don't have Twitch. We have Douyu and Huya. We do not have Facebook, but we have WeChat and WeChat friend circle and WeChat official account as a medium. So, and also we have Weibo, something similar to Twitter. So you need someone to help you to communicate with Chinese gamers. I just throw out an example on the different understanding of sum up and sum down, different ways to comment on the Steam. And there are many different ways that Chinese gamers have different understanding. So that's why we incubated Gamera Games as right now the biggest indie game in China on Steam. We want to help not only the indie developers in China, but also all over the world. So that's what we do. Gamera Game was founded in Shanghai, China in 2018. And after 3 years, we established Tokyo branch. Right now, I think every year since 2021, on Tokyo Game Show, on the YouTube channel, you will find a program, something like a video program. It's named Gamera Now. So we have good relationship with Tokyo Game Show, and then we set up a Q&A testing center in Jiangsu, which is not far from Shanghai, in 2022. And also, those are the titles we published on Steam. And our focus is on the Grand China region, desktop, not only just on Steam, but also Wii game. But again, Wii game, if you want to publish a game, you are going to spend at least 1 year to get the ISBN or the license. Okay. And also, those are the international titles. Me personally took part into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. And also Iconoclast is from Norway, and a lot more. So here are the contact for the Gamera games. And also we have Twitter. We're looking forward to meet great developers in Korea. And that's one of the reasons why we're here. So the last one is my personal email. On IndieLight, and also I go to overseas conference. Another role for me is Gamera Game as the developer relationship director. Thank you so much.
네. 중국 인디게임 현 주소를 알아볼 수 있는 유익한 시간이었습니다. 오늘 열정적으로 강연해 주신 토니송님께 여러분 큰 박수 한번 보내주시죠. Thank you.